is a special NCAA discussion Sweet 16 with Aaron Johns and myself, Dave Evergreen, right here. Broken glasses and all, if you can't tell. No, it's not a trend. That's what happens when you have teams. Look, we had Dequan. And that was it. It was in and out with these NCAA tournaments. I tell everybody, in and out like a casino. Boom, boom, pop, pop, get in, get out. Hit red, hit black, go home. They're too difficult to play, but welcome in. Again, Hashmark Sports, powered by BetOpenly.com. Head to HashmarkSports.com and then click the BetOpenly link there. Create an account and begin saving on juice immediately. Peer-to-peer betting. Again, I know these are crooked. And they're just a fucking... So... here we go. And it is. I have left, and now I'm out in India for a couple days, and I'll be back. It is our spring break at the local Northwest Indiana complex. So without further ado, we'll bring him in here. It's Mr. Aaron Johns, new CEO, by the way. But we're not allowed to talk about it until I believe a month out. I shouldn't even have said it, but I did. New CEO of Hashmark Sports. We can't ask him about that, but we will do. A little bit of NCAA talk, including I think it's the Sweet 16. And let's explain this format real quick before we bring Aaron in. Looks like I just caught wind here. Looks like he's chatting with me. He's got to take care of something. Really, what the whole purpose of this thing is, I don't really pay attention to college basketball like most Americans, even though we love our sports here. We love our circuses, our talk about a story swept under the rug. HashmarkSports.com. Check it out. Duke Messenger out as the NWI Cardinals. Aaron Johns promoted as new CEO. CI is back. The CEYE blog is now here. He is our 2024 NCAA bracket reporter. And then we're going to have AI Adam, I believe, coming back. How do you have AI Adam with CI, two eyes, and literally eyes? And who's going to be the third eye? Who's going to be the piano gland? Anyways, let's bring him in. Not to India, but live from Northwest Indiana region, it's Mr. Aaron Johns. Mr. Aaron Johns, thank you for joining us here on the Bet Openly remote hotline today. Normally, we're with each other. And we talked a little bit last week about going back to old school, just hitting record, no microphones. It doesn't matter. Just put shit out there. Here we are. It's kind of like we went back, forth, and back again in the middle. And now we're just like, fuck it, here we are. So let's talk a little NCAA. What were your thoughts? Some of the biggest surprises that were coming out?
Saturday, I had 1, 2, 3. I had 3 bets Saturday. I went 1 and 2. On Friday, I was awful, except for the last 2 games. No, the last game. I had Nebraska plus 1.5. Didn't get that. That was a loss. I won the Houston game. Oh, Houston. I'm sorry. Friday, I won James Madison plus 5.5 and Houston minus 23.5. That was a Friday night game. But before that, I was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 straight losses.
KO.
Man, I mean, at least you can talk about the losses. I figured it wasn't a big winning weekend for most people because I didn't hear a lot except from Ricky Fontaine on Yale. But I mean, what was up with Tennessee? Was that a big shocker? Did everybody fade them the next day? Is Tennessee out still or no?
No, they're in. Kentucky is the one that lost.
That's right. So I saw that. That was first round game, right?
Mm-hmm.
So overall, tournament wise, in your opinion, one of the harder ones that you've been gambling on or bet on in the past and bracket wise, or is this just continued?
Yeah, I don't know. It's been at least for me, it's been difficult. You know, like I've been picking the wrong games. Clearly, I've been picking the wrong games
to bet on.
Like, to bet on. You know, like I have an idea of what games I'm gonna attack. I don't pick all of them. You know, I pick a few of them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for instance, Thursday, I should have, what was that one? Duquesne. Should have taken Duquesne. Like, I thought I was going to.
First to 10 points you had. Who was that? They had, you didn't take
but I didn't get
either.
it in.
That's what I'm saying. You didn't take it.
Yeah. Creighton I was worried about, even though I really like them, so I didn't end up taking them. I had North Carolina.
Well, FAU, how about that? Wow. Man, they blew that game.
Yeah.
Hometown bias.
I
though.
had FAU. Yeah, I had FAU. I had Kentucky. Oakland beat Kentucky. Let me go back to Thursday, actually. I'm just going off of Thursday. Actually, the only thing Thursday I ended up taking was North Carolina minus 24.5. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I had North Carolina minus 24.5. Then I had the 3-leg parlay of North Carolina, Illinois, and Dayton.
Hey, Illinois looked good game 1.
And then I also did a live bet on Dayton at plus 8.5.
Wow.
So
wow.
That was nice because I had won my first 3 bets then.
Mm-hmm.
And then I took Texas. I won that. So I won my first 4 bets. So I started off well. Then I took Kentucky minus 13.5. Then I did a live bet of Kentucky minus 0.5, minus half a point. I thought Kentucky was going to come back and sneak it out. So I was trying to chase that. And then I just threw like a $5 7-leg parlay, which didn't even come close. I think I won 7. I think I won 4 of the 7. But then I had McNeese State money line
or Northwestern UConn. I mean, UConn pretty much letting everybody know right now, right, in the first 2 games that they're the ones.
Yeah. I had McNeese money line, lost that one. I took Florida Atlantic minus 3.5. Obviously lost that one. Nebraska plus 1.5.
You want to mute? Or was that
What's
me?
that?
Hold on. My bad.
What are you in India?
Bad reception out here. I got kidnapped over the weekend and I'm staying. Sorry. Now I can hear you. Go ahead. What'd you say?
I was saying after that, I had McNeese money line, lost that. Florida Atlantic minus 3.5. Nebraska plus 1.5. So I lost those 3. Then I followed up with Houston minus 23.5. I got that. And James Madison plus 5.5. So I got that. So I was doing all right after the first, 2 days. It was okay. Saturday and yesterday, all downhill. Had Kansas money line, Oakland money line. I won Creighton. I lost Marquette by a hook. I lost James Madison. I lost Yale. All gone.
Bro. So in the the Midwest West regions here, I'm thinking what was the most shocking for you?
The blowouts.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, everywhere. The blowouts were just, I was not expecting so many blowouts over the weekend.
North Carolina, that was surprising. Thought Michigan State would keep it closer, no?
Yeah. I always get concerned betting against Michigan State. I kind of, my thought was North Carolina was going to cover. But Michigan State was playing pretty well. And you can never really count Izzo out. So that one I purposely stayed away from because I was like, I just can't, I'm going to get screwed. I felt like either way I went, I was going to lose.
Did you watch any of the Alabama Grand Canyon game, or is that score a lot closer than what it was?
Alabama
I didn't
Grand
see any
Canyon.
highlights.
That was last night, right?
Yeah, Alabama.
Yeah, that game was real. That was a good game. They went to overtime, right?
I mean, no. I don't know.
Wait, no. Alabama didn't play Grand Canyon yesterday. Where did they play?
Alabama played Grand Canyon, it looks like. Yes.
Yesterday?
72.
That was Grand Canyon? Oh, yeah. That game was close.
Yeah, okay. It looks like, Alabama, it looked like they had their halftime, and then, all right, cool. So let's do the Sweet 16 real quick. We'll go through some games here, just real quick, gauntlet. What do you got? Starting the East region, what do you got? UConn, San Diego State.
UConn.
All right, Illinois, Iowa State.
UConn and no cover.
The Illinois, Iowa State gonna be a good game.
That's gonna be a really good game. I'm leaning towards Iowa State and covering at 1.5. But Terrence Shannon on U of I has been fucking lights out, man.
Yeah.
But Iowa State's been playing really, really well. Like, Iowa State is legit, and if they win that, then they'll play UConn, which would be a crazy game. So I think Iowa State pulls that one out. I'll go chalk.
Yeah, North Carolina, Alabama. I'm gonna. My picks up there. Sorry, jeez. Just because you said I'm gonna go San Diego State in an upset here, and then Illinois, and then on the other side I'm gonna go North Carolina. Alabama scrappy game beating North Carolina, and then this will be the only chalk on this side. Arizona beating Clemson for me. What do you got here in the West region?
I got. I mean, I'm leaning North Carolina, but I feel like Alabama can win that game. But I'm gonna stick with North Carolina. I'm gonna go chalk there, and then I got Clemson beating Arizona.
Perfecto. Top right. What a game, Houston. Did they blow their load against Duke? I like Duke. I really do. I'm going to take whatever the points are in Duke. I'm going to be that guy. But, man, did they work James Madison. Did you surprise Madison? Didn't do shit.
That was really, really surprising because I thought James Madison was good. I got Houston. I'm taking Houston.
All right, yeah.
They're really good.
NC State, Marquette, I'm going NC State here, and I think they win by 8.
I'm going Marquette.
All right. Midwest, Purdue Gonzaga. Could be a game in a tournament, maybe not. I'm taking Gonzaga, though. Close game.
I normally would take Gonzaga on this, but because everyone is hating on Purdue and how horrible they've been in the tournament, I'm going opposite. I'm going Oppie. I'm taking Purdue.
I like it.
And then we got Creighton, Tennessee.
I'm going Creighton here. I think it's a complete fade here for fade Tennessee as much as you can. Apparently, I've been hearing, so I'm gonna go Creighton.
I'm going Creighton. Creighton's really good. They're very deep too. I didn't say very deep, but they've got their starting 5 is really well rounded.
If they got past this Oregon game, that was this was going to be a tough one for them. So they did that, and that was good. That was locked in on that one. And then that's it for me. Just DeQuan and Yale, but I didn't play it. I have not been playing the tournament. Like you said, it's been hard, but bracket is non-existent. So
my bracket's done.
What do I know? But from a gambling perspective, this is where I pop in because I feel all the first jitters are out and you get the break and then you really get to look at the opponent. You know what last game they've played. It's not a series. This is a very NFL-ish gambling week and there's so many opportunities to take advantage of people in the public. So there you go. It's a quick hit. Breaking.
I mean, they said it wasn't a – there isn't really a standout team, but like UConn right now is above and beyond, I think, better than everyone, at least on their side of the bracket. I would be completely and utterly shocked if they don't roll to the championship because there's no one that can match up with them. Now, when they get to the championship, there's a few teams that can match up well. Obviously, Houston and Purdue can match up well. I think Creighton can match up well. And I think Marquette could match up well. Obviously, they know Marquette and they know Creighton from being all 3 of them are in the Big East. Marquette beat the shit out of UConn at one point this year. I think it was Marquette.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know.
And same and I don't know if Creighton beat.
What was
Creighton
that game at? Oh, they played both, right?
Yeah, they played both. I
Yeah,
forget if it was at home or away. It was probably at home because Marquette was really good at home. But if they're healthy, and the biggest factor with Marquette is if Tyler Kolek is healthy or not. And the first game, I don't think he was feeling very good. And then he got kind of in a groove. And Cam Jones has been just freaking lights out. Like I thought Western Kentucky had a chance to win that game, and they were, they played a good first half, and then the second half, Marquette just rolled. They got in a rhythm, and they couldn't be stopped. Like Cam Jones, you couldn't stop him. There's nothing they could do to stop him, and they just overpowered him. And now Kolek, this last game against Oregon, Kolek looked really good. He did not look injured. So I think they're with almost a week off now. They're going to be tough. They're such a good team, and it goes to show how tough the Big East actually was, and the fact that they only got 3 fucking teams in is insane. This is absolutely insane. They got 3 teams out of the 16 teams. 3 of them are Big East teams. The only 3 Big East teams that somehow got in the tournament, they're all left. So,
is part of the magic of the tournament. Jeez, there goes the door slamming. It's part of the magic of the tournament, having teams like Illinois play Iowa State and teams that they normally wouldn't play.
Yeah.
Or no. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Because at that point, you don't know how the other team plays. You can see them on film, but like you haven't experienced it firsthand, and that's a big factor. That's why you get a lot of upsets in general. Like that's why you get a lot of underdogs coming in and winning, because they have a matchup problem that they've never seen before. Like Oakland versus Kentucky, right? They had that dude Jack Gilkey. I forget. I'm probably pronouncing it. I didn't know anything about him, but apparently this dude just is a 3-point shooter.
On where? Who?
On Oakland.
Okay.
Right?
No idea. No, I have no idea. Well, that's why this little segment we're doing here during the tournament here on Hashmark is so great, because I'm not a college guy and you are. And what amazes me even today is still like college guys still don't know people.
No, because there's so many teams.
Right.
Oakland's in the Horizon League. I don't pay attention to the Horizon League. I did when Butler was there, but I don't know anything about the Horizon League anymore. Mm-hmm. And this guy shot like 330 3-point attempts during the regular season.
What's his name?
No, he had 330 overall attempts, and 320 of them were 3-pointers.
What's his name again?
It's like Jack Gilkey or something. The dude was lights out. He had 30 points against Kentucky. He couldn't miss. That's all he did was shoot 3-pointers, and he shot like 50% from the field. He was like 10 of 20. I mean, it was insane.
It's so annoying. I feel like it's like playing a video game and your son keeps hitting every 3 because it's on rookie, and you just hit and you just want to throw him through the roof. Wow. Yeah, I mean, look, like I just said, not an NCAA guy, but Jamal Sneed and what I saw, or is it Sheed yesterday from Houston at guard. I don't know what it's up with this like jump step thing, but man, these guys are hopping through the lane like more than I've ever seen in the league. And it's really not a travel, but how do this is more than the Euro step. I'm starting to see this like take the ball and you get into the lane, and that guard play is very hard to defend.
That's why it's you see these upsets happening in the first 2 rounds, because a lot of these Cinderella teams or whatnot, they have good guard play. They can shoot. You got shooters and you're hitting, you got a good chance of having an upset. Most of the big guys are big powerhouse schools, right? So they can catch fire. You never know what can happen. And then the refs are allowing a little bit more physicality. They're not calling as many fouls. That helps with the lower seed or higher seed, I should say, however you want to The team that should win, like a 12 seed, a
Right.
10 seed, 11 seed, whatever. If they're
So
letting
did
them
that
play.
pan out? I didn't pay attention. Was there a lot of that, like the 12-4?
Yeah,
no?
3 11s won.
Yeah,
Yeah,
really.
three out of the 4 11 seeds won the first round.
Well, I genuinely think because the public is like, what people don't understand is these are just seedings inside the tournament. Hey, right? It's not they're outside. Like, so, the 11. Look, they're the 11th best team just here of 64.
Well,
they're still good.
And the way it's seeded can vary too, right? Like NC State wasn't very good throughout the year, but then they got hot and they won the ACC tournament. They beat North Carolina, and then they got an 11 seed, right? So now they're still playing. They're an 11 seed, right? So, it can happen. But then you can get some of the really good mid-majors. They could be up to an 11 seed or some even a 10 seed, depending on what, how well they do. It's just tough. I mean, it's tough. That's why they're probably going to expand the tournament to more teams. So,
wow. Wait a minute. So, what does that look like? Just more basketball on Thursday and Fridays from like sun up to sundown, or another day, Wednesday, or a week of games?
I'm sorry. Say that again. I got a text message I had to look at.
No, I said so. If you add more teams, what does that look like? Is it more games on just Thursday from sun up, sundown, or Wednesday? What do you do? Add a day?
No, I mean, what they're doing right now is they got the play-in games on, well, they don't call them play-in games anymore. I don't think they do. Maybe they do. But on Tuesday and Wednesday, they've got 2 games on Tuesday, 2 games on Wednesday. And those are like 2 10s or 2 11s are facing each other. 2 16s are facing each other. So in reality, because of that, you end up having instead of having, say, 4 16s, you have 5 or 6 16s because they've got the play-in game. And then once they win, then they'll go to play the one of the number 1 seeds. And then they do the same thing with 11s, 12, or I don't know if there's 12s, maybe it was like 2 13s or something like that. I can't remember. But they'll probably do the same thing. It's like, all right, well, you guys play to see who gets the 16 seed, and you guys play to see who gets this 11 seed. So.
You want to go over some quick futures here for the odds over some of these teams, or no?
For the rest of the tournament?
Yeah, and ones that possibly you could put some money down on that have a sleeper of the ones that are left.
Yeah.
So, guess what team is basically of the ones remaining here, Sweet 16, who would you think is the 16th overall, it looks like here, to win it? It's basically worst odds, but best payout, obviously.
NC State.
Yeah. All right, cool. Yeah, plus you're looking at 10,000 here. Connecticut, number 1, plus 2,200. Houston, I kind of like this, plus 500. Purdue, plus 600. Arizona, plus 850. Tennessee, plus 1,200. North Carolina, plus 1,200. Marquette, plus 1,600. Iowa State, plus 18. Duke, plus 2,500 in some spots. That's the highest. Creighton, 2,500 basically across the board. Gonzaga, plus 2,200. Wow. Illinois, plus 28. Alabama, 33.
That's surprising.
Gonzaga.
Illinois being that high.
Illinois, yeah. Yeah, plus 20. The highest out there, plus 3,500. No green screen. Nope. No green screen. Very windy, though. Not really. Kind of windy.